Okay. So on the last working day, we have learned about the fact and dimensions, the grain granularity, infactable data modeling, different kind of data modeling, star schema and snowflake schema. What are the other things? Yeah, we started ETL part, I think, the last working day. ETL, I have already, tried to say what is ETL. ETL is extract, transform, load. We also went through different ETL extracting method and loading strategy. Data loading strategy. Extracting means how we are extracting from the source system, how we are putting it into target system. So this thing I'll be quickly helping you with a quick Excel access. Excel demonstration quickly. Before that, I just want to share this thing with you. So those are different ETL tools available in the market. Okay. So if you are live in a project, you can see your project can be using this kind of ETL tool. There is Talent as well. I haven't included all of them. Talent is there. But nowadays, the ETL tools, there is lots of popularity. Nowadays, they are using Informatica Cloud, the cloud version of Informatica as well. So those are different ETL tools. But nowadays, what is happening? The ETL tools licensing cost is very high actually. Okay. So the product owner there, this particular product, licensing cost that needs to be renewed maybe 6 months or yearly or half yearly, just like this way. So it's having, lots of cost involved in a particular project. So the product owner, they're creating their own framework. So it's a framework based ETL tool based on language. So by Python, by Java, they're creating some framework which is working as a ETL tool. So as Python is a, free source, free open source language, there is no such licensing cost is been involved. But they're using just like AWS step function, Lambda function to store the thing. Maybe they are using any other tool to host the application. There's like Databricks for clustering part. So that is chargeable, but they're not paying for the language itself, for the ETL tool itself. That is why there is huge demand now. People are learning the open source, just like Python, Java, as a ETL tool. Okay. So they are loading the data from the source to target by using Python. So we'll be learning the same thing when we'll be learning Python. We'll try to load the data from source to target. It will be working as a ETL tool only. Okay, that thing will be proceeding maybe at the end of Python session. Just for your knowledge, I'm just sharing the screen for all of the product. There is Informatica Power Center, IBM Data Stage, Ab Initio, SAP. For SAP, this is Business Objects Data Integrator. Okay, Microsoft. In Microsoft, there is SSMS. SSMS is SQL Server Management Studio. It's a tool. SSIS, Integration Studio, SQL Server Integration Studio. This is one of the important ETL tool. Talent. Talent is a important ETL tool. Cognos Data Manager was there, but I think it's been decommissioned. But in particular, in any of the companies, if you are just going to interview or you are live in a project, then you can see this kind of ETL tool they are using. But the main functionality is same. They are loading the data from source system to the target system. Okay. Now, before proceeding with the rest of the part, let me quickly give the demonstration how extracting and loading strategy is working. If there is any doubt, please tell me. Stop me and ask me questions. Okay. Let's create a table. I think we
So,
have a, yeah, tell me.
so the truncated that's like in SQL, right? The previously
Mhm.
shown the trunk.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
trunk and
okay,
load. Yeah, that thing. I'm just quickly demonstrating with the data set. All the things. Okay.
here
Uh,
we are using. Okay, go ahead, go ahead. I'll ask.
okay. Yeah. So let's take a quick data set. I'm just taking an employee table. So just have this table. This is my source data set. Okay. and this is my target data set. Target means the data warehouse will be proceeding with this thing. As of now, let's think this is a straight table. We just need to move from source to target. There is no such transformation, nothing. So there is the employee table at the source system, in the target as well, the same employee table. Maybe over here, a particular employee ID is there. What other things I can put? Employee name, employee designation. That's it. So employee ID 111, suppose Suresh, designation developer 112, become support. Scientist. Portfolio manager. Senior manager. Okay, let me just keep till this thing. Okay, so suppose today's date. Okay, what is ETL? Actually, I told this thing. ETL is loading data from source to target. So ETL is just configured just like it's a job. Maybe it's a batch job or just like this. So daily basis, the job will run. The job is scheduled such a way. Maybe the job is scheduled maybe 2 a.m. EST time. Generally, we pick non-business hour to load the data. Okay. Maybe while loading the data, there is some operation at the target table. Maybe we are truncating the table and loading it. If at the point of instance when we are truncating that target table, suppose our stakeholder or user just going to give a query, select star from this employee table at the target system. At the same point of instance, we truncated the table. Then they will be worried about it. What happened with my employee table? There is no data. Okay. But this is a process of our job loading. So this might happen. That is why the best way to schedule the job should be always non-business hour. Suppose I'm running our job at 2 a.m. EST, 2 a.m. EST. Daily basis, it will run at that time. Okay, I'm just getting some noise. Yeah, it's fine. Suppose on 11th Jan 2024, the job ran. It's simple. Let me just pull all those column at the target as well. I'm just going to have a truncate load strategy. So it will truncate entire target table and copy. It's a full refresh as well. The combination I told that if it's a full extracting method from the source system means it's fully extracting what is the data at the source system. It will truncate the target table and load the entire table again by this batch job, which will run on 11th Jan. Okay, so the data load is complete. Against again in the next day when the job will be running, maybe 12th, at that time two new employees were added. Suppose 116, or see, maybe ML engineer. Okay. Okay. And suppose one particular Suresh is developer, this has been updated to senior developer in the very next day. So when 12th Jan, the job will be running, means today's date, it will copy the entire thing. It's a full extract. So it will copy the entire thing, delete this thing, and it will come in this way. So this is full extract, but it's a one-to-one direct mapping. There should be lots of transformations and all. It is not easy. Just I'm going to give this demonstration. This is how full extract method works. Okay. Now if we just go ahead with incremental data load, the second option. So ETL job need to recognize what are the new records populated. So there may be such columns called maybe a create timestamp, means in which particular time the record has been inserted in the source table, or update timestamp, anything, create or update timestamp. Update will help us just like for this record. The record has been updated. The primary key is same, employee is same, but the record is updated. So we need such a column which will help to understand the particular records appears in the source system at which time. Okay. Suppose this is a old record. Let me put this thing as 10th December 2023. Okay, it was developer. Let me go ahead with this one. I'm just going ahead with this thing with 11 Jan again. Support member. 12th December. Sorry. Okay, so let me discard this one. Okay, so the first day it loaded in this way. Let me just copy this thing and pasting this in this one. Okay, so at the new day, the very next day, a new record appears in this way. 115 Asif. ML engineer. Let's keep it 12th Jan 2024. So what our ETL tool will do? So ETL tool we need to design such a way so that there should be a variable which should be storing the timestamp at the timestamp when the job ran in the very last day. Okay, so when 11th Jan's job was completed, the time when it is extracting the data from the source system, that point of instance, it's just captured its time. Just like check, just like sys timestamp, sys date. Okay. In SQL, we just check sys timestamp. It is just system timestamp. So it took the system timestamp and it's captured in some variable in ETL. Okay, we can do the same thing in Python as well. We can keep the current timestamp in one of the variable. And while extracting the record in SQL, I just need to select star from the source table. I need to implement a filter where update timestamp greater than the previous day's stored system timestamp. That means what are the new records? We are receiving, their timestamp should be greater than the previous day's loaded timestamp. Okay. So only this record will be picked during the extraction method. That is the incremental extracting. Is it clear? So we need this kind of column to identify which is the new column at the target system, I mean source system. So it will be picking up only this record and it will be pushing it at the target. We just need to confirm which kind of data load I need to go ahead. Whether it's a append mode, if it's simple append mode, then the data should be appended over here. Append means insert. Okay, append or inserts are same. There is another option, update insert. This is because of, suppose this particular record has been updated, senior developer. If we just go ahead with update insert, this is example for update insert data loading at the target in the same date. If we just go ahead with update insert loading strategy, when will we finding in incremental data load, we just found these two record has been updated. So it will be picking up only these two record. Okay. At the time of data loading at the target site, first it will check the existing target if there is any matching primary key. So it will be checking 111 is already existed in over here. If this is the scenario, then they first update the record based on 111. They will delete that one and it will have a new insert for this one. This is a update method. And if the primary key is not existing, this was not existing earlier. So, sorry, this should be 116 over here. Yeah, 116 is not existing over here. It's a, brand new record. So it will be going ahead with insertion of the data. That is called update and insert. Whichever existing records are already there, but their attributes are updated. Primary keys are there. Their attributes are updated. Then that record should be updated in nature. Okay. And this particular record should be insert in nature. So in combine of these two, it's called upsert. Update, insert, upsert. Okay. So this is how data extracting and load strategy is been maintained in ETL tool. We'll be also doing a hands-on part during learning our Python. We'll be using Python as a ETL tool. That time we can use that thing at our site. So any stuck points so far? Naresh, you were telling something. You can just go ahead now.
So in what cases we use the truncate and delete?
Truncate load, the first one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in
that
what
one I
cases?
just, yeah. Tell me once more time. Okay, so what I just understood. So truncate load is especially maybe our data volume is very less. Okay, is very less. We are not maintaining any SCD type 2. It's simply SC type 1 kind of data we are storing as a dimension. Maybe the data volume is very less. Maybe it's not a big data, it's very less. It will not take much time. So, if we just go ahead with truncate and load, the design strategy is very simple. Okay, for the developer perspective as well. And another scenario, there is no such this kind of metadata field, metadata columns available with the table. There is no such columns to check with what is our update timestamp or just like this. If there is such kind of scenarios, then we can skip with incremental data load. We can go ahead with direct truncate and load. Okay. So
Sir, in
this
what
is the
cases we use in what cases we use the delete in SQL queries in here then in the in big data or data engineering? We use like two, right? One is delete and one is truncate. So in here truncate load, we are using the whole data to delete the whole column and row. So in delete, how we can delete the particular row and particular column here? You shown the previous example, right? Here.
Okay, for this one, yeah, that
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mentioned it's for update insert. For update insert, it will be checking. I mean, a particular this 111 is already existing over here. So what it will do, it will, it can, I mean, it just need to update this particular record to this one. So they can be going ahead with either way. They can delete the record and just copy it and paste it. Okay, this
Okay.
is one way.
Okay.
So you are telling how it is doing that thing. It's simple delete statement. It's a inside ETL combination. But when we'll be trying at Python side, we'll be showing how that can be doable. They'll be deleting these things, or they can just, I mean, there can be multiple attributes updatation. Over here, I just shown you only this attribute has been updated, employee designation.
Okay, sir.
Maybe there are multiple attributes are updated. Then better delete the record. This, there is a match over here. Delete this record and insert this record. I'm deleting and inserting, but it's an update. If we check overall, okay,
Okay, sir.
okay. Any other doubt from any other side? I mean, we'll be trying the same thing in when we'll be learning Python ETL. Yeah, Dikshit, you are telling something? Okay, anyone is
No,
having any question? Okay,
no, sir, I'm good, sir.
okay, okay. Moving on with the next topic. So this is how ETL. I've just give you the overview of ETL. What is the ETL tool and how ETL is required for our data engineering purpose. This is very important thing. So basically, when we'll be joining as a, I mean, in a company, so maybe some of us joins as ETL specialist, okay, and some of us can be joined as the visualization specialist, visualization tool specialist. So ETL team, they are just handling the data and they keep the data till data warehouse. And then if anyone is having the visualization specialization or just like this, they have the expertise. I mean, more than one companies, they are working in visualization team, working in a visualization team on just like this. Then they'll be choosing their career with the visualization. Maybe Tableau developer. There is lots of visualization tools as well. Have I mentioned it over here? Yes. So Tableau, Cognos, Power BI. Power BI is a Microsoft tool. Click. So they can also choose their career by choosing any of the visualization tool. Their expertise on creating dashboards on top of, they're keeping the data from data warehouse and creating those charts and graphs in the
Sir,
dashboards.
they're creating the dashboards by using like what tools, sir? Like a Power BI, Tableau?
Over here in this, this courses itself.
Oh, okay, I got it.
No, in the courses, in this course, I'll be giving you demonstration on top of Power BI. But yeah, those are the available tool in the market.
Okay, sir.
Okay, there are lots of tools as well. I mean, in AWS, they are having some other things, but those are very much popular. Tableau, Cognos, Power BI, Click. So those are important visualization tool. Okay, so I'll be now just going ahead with a quick heads up what they are doing at their side. So now by the ETL tool I just mentioned, data warehouse are ready.
Informatica?
Informatica is a ETL tool.
Yes. So these are business intelligence tools, right?
Correct. Informatica is a ETL tool. It's having a good throughput. I mean, it's loading data from source to target, having lots of business conditions transformation we can implement on top of that. So it's very important ETL tool as well. Some of the people, they are having good knowledge in Informatica and they are switching their careers only on top of Informatica only.
Sir, can
Okay.
you give sir, can you give the real-time example for Informatica? Like, so in what purpose, like what purpose we use the Informatica in day-to-day life?
Informatica is a ETL tool. I mean, the simple example that I provided over here. By the tool, it's possible to load, but as it's a licensed version ETL tool, and it's a heavy ETL tool as well, I cannot install it my local system and to show the demonstration. But yeah, the ETL tools demonstration, this kind of thing will be showing in Python as well. So just like I mentioned, it's an open source tool, and nowadays framework based ETL tools are also being used. So that example is there in our course. You can show it. Okay. Informatica, it's not in our scope to show it over here now. It's not been installed. But just the functional requirement, you just need to create mappings over there. Mapping means which particular source is been mapped to which field. Source employee name will be going to this. We just need to create mapping, then workflow, then we need to create jobs and all. And those jobs can be scheduled in Informatica as well. This is the thing. But there are lots of things. Just like you need to be expertise in the UI side, user interface of Informatica. Okay. So, but over here, this is not in scope to show the Informatica over here. But the main functionality that I told you over here with an Excel exercise or example, it is almost same. But it's not easy to, I just mentioned over here, we need to this way, we need to go ahead with this way. But it's not totally this much easy. There is, in UI, we need to handle this kind of thing. Maybe there is a, drop down in the UI side, in the source. What should be the strategy? We just choose to drop down. It's a truncate load. This is the simple way, but we need to map the thing. The transformation part is huge. I didn't show you how to transform it over here. Maybe I need to put some Mr. and Miss and Mrs. in front of each of the employee based on their gender. So I just need to transform it. There are conditional transformation as well. Whatever we have seen in SQL, the similar kind of operation we can do in Informatica. Okay, and the transformation part is very huge over here, over there. We can do lots of transformation in Informatica. So those kind of thing we need to learn. If we just handle those kind of UI. That's clear. But I cannot show you the detailed part over here in Informatica. Okay, Naresh. Okay. So now I'm moving to the next part, the visualization tool. What are the motto of the visualization engineers? So they're working with the KPIs. What is KPI now? So visualization team, actually they can directly sit with business, because this is the ultimate goal of the business. The product owner. They want to check the dashboard. They want particular KPI to be shown in the dashboard. Okay, now what is KPI? KPI's full form is key performance indicator. You can see this kind of, you must have heard about, whoever is already experienced must have heard about this one. KPI, key performance indicators. Means the product owner will tell you, I need to visualize a particular charts and graphs which will help me with my sales growth based on year or quarterly revenue. So in the x-axis, we need to put quarter. In the y-axis, we need to put revenue. So KPI is nothing but the particular thing I want to see in my dashboard. Okay, particular charts and graphs. Maybe there can be multiple, just like quarterly revenue. If we just want to design these charts and graph, or suppose I just want to create a bar chart or line chart. Okay, a simple line graph should be there to show quarterly revenue. In x-axis, it should be quarters. Quarters is nothing but a dimension. It should be coming from the dimension table. And revenue. Revenue is a fact. It should be coming from the fact table. Okay. So in y-axis, we need to put revenue. In x-axis, we need to put quarters. And the graph will be automatically generated if we have a proper data modeling. If we have already joined the date dimension with the fact table, then the particular graph should be generated in the visualization tool. This is where the visualization engineer works. They need to search all the attributes available in the dimension and facts, and they need to create the proper data modeling. If the fact and dimensions they did not join it properly, then suppose I put quarters at the x-axis and y-axis revenue, we can see there is no such proper graph available if there is no data modeling. Okay. We'll be also showing this thing in our hands-on part when we'll be learning Power BI. There are 2 days Power BI session. So I'll be showing how to create those charts and graphs, how to create the data models and all over there, and how this kind of charts and graphs can be prepared. So where, I was telling KPI. KPI is key performance indicator. KPI, the business owner, they will be telling what is KPIs and all, and what particular KPI they want to see at the dashboard side. So they will be telling this thing, and based on that, the developer needs to find all the attributes in the fact and dimension. That means in data warehouse, and they need to pull all those records, all those attributes in the dashboard to create those charts and graphs. This is the flow of the data from source system to the dashboard now. Suppose they are searching with some particular dimensions, this is not available in the data mart or data warehouse. Then they need to reach out the ETL team. Okay, they will be reaching out the product owner as well as ETL team. They will be informing that the particular dimensions they are looking, this is not there at their source side. Their source side means the data mart. Okay, then the ETL team will work again to check how that dimensions attribute can be populated from the source system. So they will create or they will modify their ETL job again to pull that column from the source side. Then the visualization team will work again. This is how the work goes on actually. Okay, there should be some intermediate persons who will handling between the ETL resource and visualization resource. Okay, or they can be in same team as well. Especially if anyone is supporting the project, in support project generally, a particular team is working for both ETL as well as visualization team. But for developer perspective, the team should be separated, and there should be some integrator, maybe some architect or just like this with some higher experience role. They can control this kind of thing from where, which sources, what particular column needs to pull from source to target, and the same thing to be flowed at the dashboard side. Okay, even in the dashboard side, it's not a one-to-one quick relational mapping. Whatever data I'm showing at the data mart, that is not the case. They can directly pull this and paste this in the target. There can be also there's also some transformation kind of thing or calculations available in the visualizations. Suppose they need to create YTD, MTD, year to date, month to date. This kind of calculation is a bit, it's not very much tough. It's a bit tough. So this kind of exercise or this kind of charts and graphs, they also need to create. Okay. Any doubt so far from anyone? No doubt. Okay. So now I'm just quickly going to have this kind of demonstration you can see over here. So it's a bar chart. Just like in this bar chart, you can see in x-axis, we are representing 2 dimension. In y-axis, it's only revenue. In x-axis, there are 2 dimension means there are zone as well as year in x-axis. Okay, so this is zone. Zones are grouped over here in this way: east, north, south, west, and in each of the zone, it's been splitted with different year. Okay. So this is one kind of visualization by showing in bar chart. Now OLAP. This is in OLAP. There is a pivot concept. We can pivot the table. You can see this is nothing but transpose. We are transposing this matrix. Kind of matrix over here. So in city here, this is one dimension. City is a dimension over here earlier, but in city we can split it the city in Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata in this way. So we are pivoting it. Okay, the pivot thing we can also do in Python. We will be learning this thing. This is another way of data representation. I think pivot or cross tab, I think you can see also in Excel. Okay, you can transpose the thing. If there is fixed number of cities available over here, I want to display this thing as a columnar way. So I can transpose it in column. Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata. This rows has been transposed over here. And year is a single dimension. I can take this thing in columnar format. And the matching record. So Mumbai 2009. There should be a single measures. Over here it's a cells. This is another way of data representation in pivot table. Okay. There is some terminology called slice and dice. Data slicing, we already checked what is data slicing in SQL. Similarly, we can check it over here. So this is another bar chart. Two kind of dimensions has been showed in over here. In X, maybe this is Y, this is Z axis. So in X and Y, the two kind of dimensions has been represented. Year and city, and in Y axis, in Z axis, it cells. So if we just choose a particular year over here, so we are slicing based on a year. In a visualization tool, there is option to put filter. Okay, so you do not have to put where. In SQL in backend, we are doing select start from this thing where my column is equal to this. But over here in visualization tool, the UI is very advanced. User interface is very advanced. In the drop down, there should be a drop down section or anywhere. We just need to put which kind of year I want to see the data. Just I need to put the year. In the back end, it's firing that where clause. But at the front end, we just need to choose the particular year or just like this. So if we just year over there, our visualization should be sliced on top of year over here in this manner. They have chosen 2009. So the data has been sliced on top of 2009, and this should be our final data. We can dice. Dice means nothing but we can choose year as well as two dimension we can choose at a single time. Some city and year. Okay. This is called slice and dice. This is very important terminologies in visualization team. Roll up, drill down. So this is another way of designing approach. Over there, we need to create a hierarchical dimension. So to create this kind of visualization, they need to create hierarchical dimension over here. They have created the dimension, hierarchical dimension based on year, quarter, month. Okay. So after preparing this kind of visualization, the both visualizations are same actually. This is a table. This is a bar chart. So when they're creating hierarchical dimensions, if they're double clicking on top of this, some hyperlink will be activated over here. They're clicking on 2013. Only the 2013 will be splitted in the dashboards. You can see 2013 has been splitted into 4 quarters. Along with the fact will be also properly splitted. Not only this one, the entire dashboard should be affecting. Then again, they're double clicking over here. It's splitting up again into different months. Okay, so this is how it's called drill down, drilling it down till the end level of the hierarchy. For this thing, for creation of this thing, they need to create the hierarchical dimension. This is the first approach. That can be doable in the reporting tool itself. The same thing we can do over here as well. It's a similar approach. And roll up is just the opposite thing. Rolling up. Suppose we have this, we want to roll it up. That can be also doable over there. The opposite thing of drill down. Okay. I'll be trying to show this kind of drill down. I'll be creating a hierarchical dimensions as well during learning the Power BI, so that you should be having those ideas. Okay. What are the other things? Yeah, I just mentioned all the available visualization tool in the market. This is also, it's not a free resource or free. A licensing version needs to be purchased. That needs to be also renewed, maybe yearly basis or just like this. Okay. And those are about everything on top of business intelligence. Now, any doubts so far from anyone? Whatever we learned. Anything from anyone? Okay. So this is all about the business intelligence. This is not very much technical actually, whatever we have just completed in this last 3 days. But the functional knowledge is very, very important for you to see what is the entire thing going on in the project and all. Maybe if you are quite new, they'll be giving you a small thing, maybe in visualization team or just like a small thing in a ETL team. But this is the overall picture how the particular architect or they can see in the the technical architect, they can see the source diagram or flow diagram from source to target. Okay. So, okay, there is some time left. Let me just quickly start the Python chapters as well. Let's start the Python with a quick introduction and what kind of tools you need to install at your system. And tomorrow I'll be checking the homework as well. Please submit whoever wants to submit the homework by tomorrow only. In tomorrow's class, I'll be checking or I'll be showing the exercise, whatever I have given. And I'll be also give some more thing maybe in tomorrow's session. It can be a bit higher level. Okay. Till that time, I'm just taking advantage of the time. Let's install Python. I hope, okay, all of you, okay. I hope all of you do not know Python or your system doesn't have Python installed. So you need to install Python. If Python is already installed, no need to install. Just check the Python interpreter versions and all. But how to install Python? The basic package of Python, just you can go to this website. Python.org, just go to download. Okay, so the recent version of Python interpreter is 3.12.1. Install it at your system. Okay, download it and install it. It's very simple installation. Maybe your environmental variable needs to be updated. I'll be showing this thing. Just try to install. Then I'll be checking that stuff. So after installation of Python, you can just search in your CMD. Just search with Python or Python version. Or you can just type Python. It will be helping you whether Python interpreter is already there or not. If it's there, then it will be showing the version as well. So this way you can identify whether Python is already installed. If not, please install it, download and install it. Okay. After that, we can do the coding part over here as well in this window. But this is not a good way to learn it over here. So I'll be suggesting to install a IDE tool for this. So I have installed PyCharm in my cases. PyCharm Community Edition. Community Edition is free. So I can install PyCharm PyCharm is nothing but IDE, just like we have used this kind of SQL IDE for MySQL Workbench in our SQL classes. So similar kind of thing we can do in PyCharm, especially for Python language. Okay, so please install that thing. We can get this thing in this particular link. I'm also providing this thing. It's a JetBrains tool. Okay, no need to install PyCharm Professional. It's 30 days trial and it will be chargeable, and the licensing is a chargeable one. So as of now, you can just install PyCharm Community Edition. This is fine for us for the learning purpose. Scroll a bit down and you can get it. Get the link. And the Python I haven't provided. Just give me some second. Python.org. Yeah. Okay. After installation of this thing, just check. I mean, in the setting part, this is PyCharm. How PyCharm looks like. This is PyCharm window. How it looks like. Over here, I can put codes and all. Okay. We need to put the codes over here. Or if the codes is already there and I have saved in somewhere, so I can directly open it from there. Okay. Those are all the Python file, and we can open it there and we can run it or execute the particular codes from here. Okay. So, okay, one more thing. So this is PyCharm. You just need to tag the Python interpreter. Just go to File, Settings, and just, I mean, I think it will auto-populate. I mean, whatever Python interpreter is been installed at your system, it will face this one. But if it's not, then just tag it. Maybe you have multiple Python interpreter. You want to tag any one of them. If you have 3.9, 3.10, or just like this. So from the drop down, choose which Python interpreter you need to tag with PyCharm. You will be running the code, you will be writing the code in PyCharm, but in the backend, which interpreter it should be working. That is, I mean, Python, I mean, that in the backend, which Python interpreter should be there. You just need to tag. Okay. What are the other things? Okay, so Python, as I mentioned, it's an interpreter language. So we'll be putting high level language over here. It's very, very high level language. And the interpreter means what we have just downloaded. It's nothing but an interpreter. It will help the machine to understand our high level language. So it will convert, the interpreter will convert the high level language in machine level language, and machine will understand the execution and machine will help us with the output. Okay. So that is why it's an interpreter language. In Python, we have this kind of data types: integer, float, boolean, string, list, tuple, set, dictionary. We'll be going through have a quick introduction maybe in tomorrow's session. Tomorrow, not, I think tomorrow we'll be solving the exercise. Maybe the day after tomorrow or in the new week, we'll be quickly learn the data types. Especially we'll be focusing on the last four: list, tuple, set, dictionary. Because we already have the idea what is integer, what is float, what is boolean. In all kind of programming languages, those are very common. Even in SQL, we also learned what is integer and float. Okay. So I'll be quickly touching Boolean list. List tuple, it will take some time. All the available methods I'll be showing. Dictionary is very, very important. Okay. Anything? Anyone is telling anything? Yes, Sekhar, you were telling anything? Okay.
No,
Python
no,
variable.
sir.
Okay, fine, fine, no issue. Python variable will be touching at that day. That should be fine. Okay, so please install those softwares at your systems. Then we'll be learning the thing gradually. Maybe Monday onwards, we'll be learning Python codes and all. For the beginning, I mean, 2 or 3 days, it should be totally basics for Python. After that, we'll be using Python as our data engineering tool. We'll be using Pandas, NumPy, this kind of libraries. try to import and have codes on top of this. So let's focus on this thing. Then we'll be covering those parts. And tomorrow, please try to solve this exercise. Tomorrow we'll be solving at our class. So this should be good for you if you just solve this thing by your side first, or whatever stucking point is there, that is fine. But please try to solve whatever you can do. Okay. Okay, then. Thanks, everyone. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Let's connect tomorrow.